This is completely unethical, unmoral degradation of the environment and potentially health risks of the general public.
For the first time, we've uncovered what's hidden in plain sight.
You've got this very complex, heady chemical soup going on.
A toxic mix buried in illegal waste that could pose a serious risk to our health.
If my children are breathing in all that, what is that doing to them long term?
Dangerous, even banned chemicals.
That's far worse than certainly anything I'd contemplated.
And a call for urgent action.
What's the point of having environmental agencies if they don't do anything or don't seem to be doing anything?
Amid an illegal waste crisis, this is what lies beneath. For years now, we have been investigating the growing number of illegal waste sites across the country. During that time, the rubbish has been festering, leaching into water, literally burning in to the countryside air. Over the last 6 months, we've been working with a team of scientists to try and uncover what this rubbish is made up of and potentially what harm it's causing. 100,000 tonnes of waste has been building up on this field next to a river. It's so big, it frequently sets on fire.
Okay, well, there's a lot of smoke.
Yeah, you can smell it as well. It's a very strong sort of plasticky smell coming out of there.
I mean, this is just deeply combusting right underneath, isn't it?
The acrid smoke can be smelt by those living in the nearby village of Hynham. Last summer, children at the primary school there had to be kept indoors.
Just in this dip here, where we'll get a view down over the whole thing.
There are nearly 600 active illegal waste sites across England. To understand the environmental and health impact they're having, we've tested at 3 of the biggest. In Gloucester, Ranskill near Doncaster, and in Wigan, a dump that sits in the constituency of the new Prime Minister, Andy Burnham. Collectively, they make up more than 170,000 tonnes of waste.
This is a mixture of commercial and domestic waste that's being processed, shredded and dumped.
And after months of analysis, the results are in.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
10 seconds.
Right, we've just got off the phone with the team of scientists who've been running the tests on all of the samples that we took at the 3 illegal waste sites, the air, the soil and the water. They say that they have found some really worrying stuff in those samples. They're suggesting that we head down to Southampton to their lab to find out exactly what they've uncovered.
The rapid screening has found strong matches for a huge list of dangerous chemicals.
How significant, how worrying are the things that you've found?
In short, very worrying. The bottom line is, here we have seen, by our identification process, hundreds of compounds which are of a concern that if you inhale them, certainly if you inhale them over a period of time, could well have significant health effects.
Hidden in the smoke in Gloucester, we found matches for 763 different chemicals. It is a huge number. A toxic mix that is 4 times higher than what you'd breathe in from a car exhaust. Among them, names such as styrene, ethylbenzene, chlorobenzene and naphthalene. All can cause breathing difficulties, burning eyes and nausea, with long-term exposure linked to neurological problems.
There are chemicals in that environment which should not be in that environment.
We presented our findings to one of the country's leading public health toxicologists.
Some of the strongest science which has come out is about how very low-level chemical exposures in populations over the long term have health effects which nobody predicted they would have. There is no argument that you should ignore this and hope the problem goes away.
While there's a toxic swirl of chemicals in Gloucester, the results up north are just as concerning. So we're heading back up to Wigan. We're going to go and have a chat with Nisha. She was the resident who lives right next to the dump there. She spoke to us in January about the rats that had been infested in her house. One of her kids had to move out to his grandparents because he was so ill from the smell. We're going to go and meet with her and let her know what we found in the results.
We've got the official report, so it'll be great to run through, what we found and everything. The 20,000 tonnes of illegal waste in Wigan has rarely been out of the spotlight. There are plans to clean it up, but our water tests show new evidence of dangerous compounds. In Wigan we found what could be a chemical called Demetin O, a pesticide that's been banned for decades. In Doncaster there was a match for Thanite, another banned pesticide. Both not approved for use in this country due to their toxicity and danger to human and animal life.
I think a lot of people don't think about what could be in there because we try not to. We're scared that, if we find out, we're not going to sleep at night. I'm just thinking back to when it was on fire last time. Obviously, we've got a back street that leads all the way up to the tip. The smoke was coming down the back street and straight into the school. So what did we inhale? Now, when that happened, I did end up in hospital with respiratory issues. I just put down to smoke. Maybe it could have been the chemicals. Now, to think if that goes up again and we know that that's in there, we're going to be even more scared to stay in our homes. Knowing that if that's burning and we've got all these chemicals that could give us, lifelong illnesses, it's just not acceptable.
The Environment Agency told Sky News it doesn't expect significant pollution from waste or water at the Wigan site, but says it is working to assess the environmental impacts. 60 miles east, 60,000 tonnes of waste in Ranskill near Doncaster. Rubbish first appeared here in May last year. As the lorries tipped illegally, locals say there were even security guards keeping watch.
You can see behind me that the criminals responsible for all this even ploughed and made their own road through the forest to be able to dump the rubbish here. And what our tests have found is a really toxic mix of chemicals. In the air samples, there's a chemical that may well be something called carbon tetrachloride. It was used in the past in things like dry cleaning and fire extinguishers, but it's phased out globally because it is so toxic. It can cause damage to liver and kidneys and even has links to cancer.
It is just, a line through trees wide enough for 2 wagons to get down.
Locals James and Dan have been monitoring the growing mountain of waste since it began.
Are you worried about the health impacts?
I'm worried about the health impact, I'm worried about the environmental impact, I'm worried about the overall consequence of that. Environmental impact doesn't just mean trees and grass and everything, it's the birds, it's the local inhabitants, it's rabbits, it's a whole shooting match. This has just been dumped. Who knows what the kids in the village are going to be breathing in 30, 40, 50 years.
It's important to say that the tests that we have done have been taken at source, in the smoke, in the middle of the pool of that toxic looking water. What we don't know yet is just how diluted all that becomes when it reaches the village or the homes nearby, when it can be smelt. But speaking to people, what we do know is that there is an impact.
The village of Hynham lies just half a mile from the burning fumes near Gloucester. A large fire last summer impacted residents and the local primary school.
Sometimes we do have to close the windows, especially in the summer. We did smell it from the school, and obviously that impacts children when they're learning, and we've had to keep them from going outside at playtimes.
Helen's 2 kids, 7-year-old Elliot and 10-year-old Felix, both attend the school.
I just think it's absolutely shocking because it's very close to a big community and there are several local schools in the area, and just to think that that is what you're breathing in and you're completely unaware of it, the government are just turning a blind eye to it.
That's £6.80 then, please.
That feeling of a lack of action is echoed in the village shop.
It's anger and frustration, and why should people suffer from it, really? Because we don't know long-term effect of it. Children, growing up near it, it's not going to be good, is it? It's not like fresh air.
If I had a child in that school, would I be happy? And I wouldn't be. I would still have a niggling doubt in my mind that my children shouldn't be at a location where they're being exposed to illegally dumped chemicals at absolutely any level at all.
The hidden chemicals we've found are a danger on their own, but scientists say it's the huge number of compounds that poses the bigger risk.
We found a mixture of hundreds of chemicals, and that's more concerning to me than, let's say, one specific chemical at a very high concentration that we know to be harmful. And that's because environmental science and toxicological studies tell us that it's mixtures of contaminants that are the most difficult to investigate, but also probably have the largest impacts in terms of human health and ecosystems.
Our results also show there is a risk to wildlife. We know that the water runoff at the Gloucester site feeds into the nearby River Leddon and River Severn. In fact, across all 3 sites, the majority of chemicals in water were above PNEC levels. That stands for Predicted No Effect Concentration. It is essentially the scientific safe level, above which there may be harmful effects to the environment. Our results showed Gloucester and Doncaster have the biggest likely risk to aquatic life, with 92 chemicals.
We presented all of our evidence to the government, and in response, the Environment Agency says its own scientists are now carefully considering our findings. It added that it's made 18 arrests linked to illegal waste dumps since April this year. The Department for the Environment told Sky News that it is giving the agency another £45 million over the next 3 years to tackle this growing problem.
Contaminated water posing a risk to wildlife, fumes in the air causing fear amongst locals. There is now an urgent call for more testing, more monitoring and more action.
What do you want the Environment Agency to do?
So personally, I would like the Environment Agency to act as quickly as they can, to tell it factually what is here and what isn't here, and what the long-term plan is going to be to make it better again.
Environmental toxicologists have often said we are concerned about this chemical and be poo-pooed about it, only for people to find out that 10 or 20 years down the line that actually the science was quite robust and we should have been much more precautionary than we had been at the time.
What can the ordinary person do about it? You know, you're trapped and you're inhaling all this chemicals. It's not now, but is it going to cause long-term health problems and things? It's just not fair and something needs to be done.